Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Combo Breaker 99. I am back with another video. All right, y'all, back with another one here. I haven't really been talking about this particular fighter too much on this channel. I've given my thoughts, of course, on the lightweight champion of PFL, Kayla Harrison, right? We talk about it over here every now and then, but I just kind of want to revisit Kayla here because she talked about this in a recent interview where, it's been going around now. People have been asking me about it, my thoughts on it. As y'all know, Kayla Harrison is looking like she's going to re-sign the PFL. It's looking like she's probably going to renew her contract with PFL and just continue to reign in the PFL organization, right? I was looking at this recent interview here. Let me go ahead and pull it up and just kind of read through it. And like I said, I'll give you my thoughts. So Kayla Harrison said this: "Look, I worked hard my whole life to hopefully become one of the biggest free agents in the history of the sport. Obviously, if PFL comes back to the table and has a good game plan, talks life-changing money, that's a key word right there, life-changing money, which I'm going to discuss here in a minute, or has a ton of new talent in the pool, then that's something that, we're going to talk about." She said, let's see, what else did she say? Yeah, that's the big statement that she had said there that I just kind of want to go in on because it's already been said that she pretty much is going to re-sign. And my thoughts on that, I think that's perfect. I mean, when it comes down to it, like, I'm not the biggest Kayla Harris fan. Like, I'm not really like a big fan, but, for the organization she's in on the level that I consider her on, she is entertaining at that. But when it's coming down to it, trying to include her in these other organizations like Bellator and so on and the UFC, it's really hard to find a place for her. It really is hard to find a place for her just because, when you look at it financial wise, competition wise, physical wise, physically, it's just so many obstacles to really satisfy a fighter of her, of her caliber and her size. You know what I mean? Because when it comes down to it, PFL is probably just the best place for her. That's what it comes down to. I think that's the best place for her to sign because it's the only organization, the big recognized organization that offers the money that she wants and that's satisfying her, right? Because if the UFC off top, if they offered her something a little bit higher, which, the UFC is more popular than PFL, I think she would already say, hey, I'm signing, right, regardless. But I think PFL is the only ones that are giving her that steady money that's giving her what she needs throughout her life. That's why I said life-changing money. I wanted to talk about that because that's the one big thing about Kayla Harris. I think Kayla Harris is more so in a position where she is more about her money in her business than she is about just the legacy. Like, she's not one to just go sign off on anything. She's going to look at the contract. I got to give her credit for that. She is one of those fighters that seems like she is shopping around. Like, she does shop around. We got to give her credit there. Like, she's not one to just give away her life or just see herself as livestock to the fans or to Dana White or so on. Like, she's really looking at the contract here because I said life-changing money. That's one of the reasons that she got into this sport is to, support her family. And that's what it all comes down to. I mean, same with Deontay Wilder. I got to use him as an example because he got into boxing to take care of his daughter. He got into boxing to take care of his daughter's medical condition. That's one of the reasons I give him a lot of props because, he said, look, I'm going to put my life on the line to save my daughter's life. So Kayla Harris is kind of in that same position. Like, she's taking care of her family now. And, she's looking for that life-changing money, that money that's going to change their life for the good, right? So when it comes down to it, you got to sign to the organization that's going to be suited for you, especially when they're giving you those stipends. You're getting that monthly money even whenever you're inactive. And then she's, like she said, she wants to be that big free agent. She's also got it negotiated where she could go to these other organizations during the off season, like Invicta FC, and pick up a little bit of money. So you kind of got to go with the organization that's going to help you for what you're looking for, right? When it all comes down to it. So I think if she signs, hey, it makes sense because they're the ones that are backing her. They're the ones that see something in her and want to keep her thriving. It's not just a negotiation tactic where we're just going to get a one-off or build you up to our standard and then boom, we'll throw you in with whatever. She's kind of calling the shots with it, right? And another point is, I brought this up to somebody else who was like, I don't think the UFC is really offering her anything. They don't really offer her anything, when you look at it. Like, what is there to offer her but a Nunes fight? And as y'all know, the Nunes fight is pretty much off the table right now. Regardless, even though Nunes left ATT, Nunes has got some demons of her own to battle right now. And, she's got a new rivalry building right here with Juliana Pena. So that fight is pretty much out the door. So I think that's one of the reasons why she said, oh, got to re-sign with PFL. They ain't got nothing for me, right? So the UFC is not really offering her anything. They're not really offering her anything. And that's one of the things I never really showed any interest in. Like, if you're talking about Tanisha Tennant, yes, sign her. Sign her. There's a division there's a division there. You don't have to build a division around her. There's a division specifically for Tanisha Tennant to invade. The bantamweight division. They're in need of new blood. You sign these new bantamweights. You bring them in because there's a full-on division. But every time people would come to me, even like casual fans, say, what do you think of Kayla Harrison? The UFC needs to sign her. I'm like, okay, but what are they going to do with Nunes when she's not even on the level of a Nunes yet? Right? Where is she going to start at? Like, where are you going to put her in a ranking? Like, there is no rankings. Like, how are you going to build this fighter up to a Nunes fight just because she's a champion in PFL doesn't mean she's ready to be champion in the UFC? There's two big differences there, right? So that was something I had to tell somebody the other day. I was just like, there's really no interest in that, even when people bring this up, like, a while back, like, whenever she first won the first PFL lightweight tournament, I was like, okay, that's cool, you know what I mean, like, for PFL, but I don't see her as UFC ready because the UFC is not ready as far as the big women, you know what I mean? So you got to think of it in that perspective as well. Like, casual fans, they'll just see a big name and they'll say, okay, let's get her in the UFC, but there is no way to move her. There's no direction. Again, fighters like Tanisha Tennant, yeah. When I saw Aaron and Miranda in Invicta FC, I said, oh, hell yeah, I want to see them in the UFC one day because there is a division for them. Loveth Young, hell yeah, I want to see her in there because there's a division for it. You know what I mean? There's a division for all these fighters. But whenever it comes to Kayla Harrison, there really is no division. So there's really no need to get excited about bringing her in because there's nothing there to offer her except a Nunes fight, and she's not ready for that, right? And even if she did she tried to negotiate a one-fight deal, it really wouldn't work towards nothing because the UFC only does like multi-fight deals, right? I really don't see them doing like one fight. Who they do one fight for? Brock Lesnar, is he like the only fighter they did that for? Let me know in the comment section. But yeah, for Kayla Harrison, for Dana, he's not going to do one fight deal because if it doesn't make any money, he's going to be like, okay, we lost money off her. He's going to try to stretch it out to multi-fights so he could try to get it in and try to build her up. But again, there is no division for her. There is no division for her. There's no lightweight division. There is no featherweight division. And that's something else, I'll probably bring up in another video. I mean, like, you got to start bringing in these 145 pound and over women, these 145 pound plus women, because they bring the excitement. And there's a lot of women out there that do put on some good fights. You know what I mean? So they're missing out here. I mean, PFL, they got their lightweight organization. I mean, in the UFC, they could stand to do the same. But as of right now, I don't think that's a good move for Kayla Harrison to go there. And like I said, the life-changing money thing is a big part because, she's in that position like I think where Wilder was, Deontay Wilder, put the gloves on, lace the gloves, get in that square circle to take care of his family, take care of his daughter. And that's what it all came down to, And that's what it all came down to. And I think that's what it's coming down to for her. Like, she's constantly looking for what's going to benefit her. And you got to respect that, man, because, there's too many fighters in the game that were warriors and were legends, but they left this game broke. They left this game brain dead sometimes, half blind, crippled, and then when it all comes down to it, the fans aren't there for them anymore. Yeah, they'll give them props, in videos like this or so, but when it comes down to the money and being taken care of, they got to look out for them. So I think that's the best opportunity. I think that's the best option for her, to go with the PFL opportunity again, because it's going to keep her fighting. It's going to keep her active in a lane where she's safe in, which is my last point. Kayla Harrison is still not UFC level, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, I think they need to give, her some tougher competition. They need to start finding some more of these tough ladies. Like, I think this Ramona Pascuala, the young lady that just scored this big finish the other day in Invicta FC, I think she would be a good fighter to build up. Of course, Julia Budd is over in PFL, so that's some more competition there. So if she can cross over into those talent pools with these type of fighters, hey, maybe she could do something. Maybe she could show us that next level. But even Bellator would be a good step up for her. You know what I mean? Like, that would be a good step up for her. But even when I say she's not UFC level, not just like talent wise, but or skill wise to face like a Nunes or a Chris Cyborg in Bellator, but I just don't even think like star power wise, where it would be wise to try to say she is the next Ronda Rousey. You know what I mean? Like, she's not. You know, she's her own fighter. You know, Ronda Rousey was just like a presence. You know, she came in at a time where it was like it was just perfect timing. Ronda Rousey just came in at perfect timing. You know what I mean? That's why she was as big as she was. You know, that's whenever WMMA really started to catch a lot of people's eyes. And, you know, it won Dana White over and made him eat his own words and say, you know, whenever he said he would never sign like a women to fight, you know. So that was kind of like a big thing. You know, she was like a pioneer there. But for Kayla Harrison, you know, she's a dominant fighter at her level, you know, former Olympian, but there's still something more there that she would have to bring to the table, I think, to become a superstar in the UFC. So, yeah, man, my final thoughts, I think it's wise for Kayla Harrison to just re-sign with PFL, you know, from the outside looking in, because even if the UFC did sign her as a hardcore WMMA fan, I can't get hyped over it because who are we going to see her fight? Who are we going to see her fight? To the hardcore Kayla Harrison fans, you know, the guys at Simp, they'll be like, oh, yeah, we got a UFC star and our girl is a UFC star. They don't care who she fights. But, you know, as a hardcore MMA fan, I care who she fights. You know what I mean? And I already can tell you there's nobody there that she can fight because there is no division. So that's something casual fans have got to understand. There's no division for her to build off of. So don't get hype off of her, you know, if she gets in talks to the UFC. But go back to the fleshed out division you have in the lightweight division of PFL. I think that's the best choice for her. Let me know in the comment section, y'all, what y'all think. Should the UFC even consider doing a lightweight division? I mean, we keep talking about atom weights, but should they do a featherweight and lightweight division? Because, I mean, there's more than enough women. There's more than enough women to do these divisions. And, I mean, with featherweight and lightweight, we're going to get some big knockouts. We're going to get some big finishes. So maybe they should consider that one day just as much as they do the atomweight division. But I'm not going to bat for a featherweight division anymore, man, because they continue to drop the ball on it. But let me see. We got this Macy Chiasson versus Norma Dumont fight. And that's at 145, right? But that's another video, y'all. Let me know y'all thoughts in the comment section, guys. Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.